Good day, everyone. Grown-ups are really weird. When my eldest grandson was about 10 years old, I took him with me to wish a friend on her 70th birthday. We had arranged a tiny party for her, and the table was laden with wonderful, scrumptious delicacies. And we sat around and we chatted a bit. I didn't stay too long, but I stayed just enough for Vivan to enjoy the cake and whatever else was spread out on the table. And then we went home and his mum asked him, "Well, did you enjoy yourself?" And he said, "These grown-ups are so weird. We sat around, they chatted. The cake was great, but there were no games and there were no return gifts." To a child or even a teenager, we adults are quite a strange species because they would never be able to understand us. They don't understand why we never do things because now we have the freedom to do so. But according to them, we become real sticks in the mud. They don't understand why we deny ourselves ice cream which is lying in the freezer. When my sons were growing up and they were teenagers, they never understood why my husband and I never went out to meet friends. We preferred to sit at home, have a cozy family evening at home. Now, we had the car, we had the freedom, but we just wouldn't go. And worse still, we wouldn't give them the car keys when they wanted to drive around late evenings with their friends. I remember my eldest raising his eyes to the ceiling and saying, "I never know why we have a car." It's true. There are things that we do which they will not understand because they are young and reckless. They think we are fuddy-duddies, but they don't realize that we were young and reckless too at some point, which is why we are more cautious today. You know, the other day I visited a friend and we were talking about how easy the youngsters had it today because with this pandemic and the online classes, most parents feel that their children are being put to too much, so everything is done for them. Her 10-year-old granddaughter was sitting and coloring at a center table. And she looked up at us and she said, "Do you really think we have it easy? There's so much work on online classes. Oh yes, mom and dad help us a lot, but the pressure is on us. And you think it's easy when, you all sit around and drink coffee and watch television and we have to go to bed at 9 o'clock? Is that fair?" Well, all we could do was just smile because we couldn't make her understand what our generation feels about all of this. This is classically a generation gap, communication gap between the young and us. I'm not going to say old, I'm just going to say different. There is that classic 13-year-old reaction. Why should we listen to you when you never listen to us? And that is true, isn't it? We believe that they are too young to have opinions of their own and to air them. But we've got to remember that times are a-changing. Youngsters today have grown at a terrific pace, and they are definitely more smart and they're quicker on the uptake than we were at that age. So do give them a patient hearing. I know some of their observations may be rather wild, but we've got to corral them with diplomacy. I think that will go a long way into making them understand that we are not exactly prehistoric fossils. And if all else fails and they just will not listen to you, well, quote the little poem by Bill Harley. I loved it. I came across it and I thought it was perfect to end this video. When he says, yeah, grown-ups are strange. That's a fact. But there's just going forward and no going back. Grown-ups are weird. Yes, that's true. And someday that's going to happen to you.